Hello and welcome to Quasi's Bell Tower with your host, Quasi. Today we are going to learn how to make a circle jig for your Proxxon Thermocutter. Here is the jig right here, so let's get to it. Okay guys, I have this 1/8 inch thick MDF board. It's a 12 by 16. I got this on Amazon. I'll put the link at the bottom, so if you want to order it you can. What I did here is I just drew a line down the center, so 6 inches from here to here, there's your center. Drew a line straight on down. I did an inch apart from here, so 1/2 an inch here and 1/2 an inch here. I went 6 inches long from here. Should be able to cut a nice good 12-inch big circles if that's how big you want some circles, but you can also make them really small. Over here, hopefully you guys can see these lines, by the way, that I drew on here, just with pencil, so I don't know if it's just shining or how it's looking, but I put 5/16 because that's how thick this square dowel that I have is, but I'll probably try to sand it down to get it down to a quarter so it'll slide better over here in the Proxxon Thermocutter, because it's kind of a real tight fit right now. So I'm going to sand it down so it'll fit. But I got my dimensions for that already drawn out. The distance, it's going to be an overlay, or this is going to overlay it just a little bit, but I have all my dimensions drawn out. From the first line, the furthest line in, it's like 7/8, and then 9/16 for the second line. And like I said, the thickness of it I put is 5/16, but I'm probably going to change that to a 1/4 inch, so it'll, you know, because I'm going to sand this down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these all out and glue this. And then I'll come back to you guys, because I'm probably going to draw the numbers and stuff on here so you see the sizes. I might have to cut out a piece back here, more likely I will, but we'll find out as I'm doing this. So I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, I finished cutting it all out. I did have to cut out the back piece here. I went 4 inches deep in there, and I went an inch wide, and of course I had it centered. I didn't realize that the bar here is not, I should have been paying attention, but I wasn't. The bar here isn't centered with the line, it's off a bit. So after cutting it out, I went to test fit it and realized it wasn't going to work, it wasn't centered. So I had to make this piece wider. So I would say, I don't know what I did. I just kind of made a guess on it, honestly. So you could say 1.5 inches, you know. That's what I did here, 1.5 inches. Mine's not really 100% square, but you know, for doing it yourself, you know, it isn't got to be perfect, as long as it works and does what you need it to do. I also rounded off the curves here just to make it easier to get in and out of there, because the corner kept seeming to hit the back pole on the Proxxon cutter. So that's it, guys. It's not complete 100%. What I gotta do now is I gotta put my nail through here. I'm only gonna probably just use a tiny little nail like this, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's just a tiny little finishing nail, basically. And I'm gonna pop that through and see how well that works. I'll do some marks here. I might use my burning kit, my little whatever the heck you call them. You can burn wood and stuff with them. Wood burner kit, yeah, wood burner thing, and maybe cut it in there so it's officially in there. But I think that might be it, guys. I'll come back to you when I have it officially done, and we'll check it out and see how it works. Okay, I now have the circle jig complete. I took my wood burner kit thing and engraved some numbers, 1 through 6 for inches wise. I did have a couple problems when I was making this, but that's because I was impatient and not paying attention to what I was doing. But I did fix it, and that was I glued the board, or the piece of wood that holds this all in place on the top here, and it had to be on the bottom, so I had to redo that, which was no big deal. But I've done a couple test runs and everything comes out pretty good. I realize you have to stay at a steady speed and don't go too fast or too slow, because you will have some issues. So you try to get it at the right speed at almost all time. So I'm gonna go and put this on here. I'm gonna put it right on the wire, making it touch just the wire. I'm just gonna push this down right on the nail. Okay. And I'm using a very thin piece so the nail went all the way through. Normally I would be using something that's a 1/2 inch or 3/4, but this is the last good scrap piece of foam I have before I have to buy some more. So let me shut up and let's get to this. And there you guys go, a perfectly round circle. I could have pushed it in a little bit and then did the circle that way because it is a little flat here, but you can barely notice it. And what I'm going to be using it for, you won't even be able to tell either. So there you guys go. That's how you make circles. Okay guys, so once again, here is my circle jig for the Proxxon Thermocut. Yes, this is almost like the one from Shifting Lands. I basically took the same idea. I'm not saying I'm patented or anything else. That's all them. I took it from them. I've bought one of their Pro gliders. I loved it, but I didn't really feel like spending another $25 to $30 for another jig. And I thought, hey, I love the craft, so why not try to make one of these and see if I can't, you know, get it to work. And I got it to work, so I'm happy with it. And it only cost me $9 just for the board. Kind of expensive, but hey, it's better. And I had more fun actually making this straight out anyway. So like I said, here's the one circle I cut. I did cut several circles, but that's the one I showed in the video. I hope you guys like this video. Please comment and please subscribe. And like always, ring that like button like a hunchback. Until next time.